Repeated questions can be one of the most exhausting parts of dementia caregiving. And if you've ever felt frustrated or short-tempered in those moments, I want you to know you're not alone. Today, we'll gently explore why this happens and how to respond in a way that reduces repetition instead of increasing it. Hi, for those of you who are new here, my name is Dr. Sinclair. I'm a neuropsychologist, dementia care specialist, and founder of the Confident Caregiver Academy. Let's jump on in. Repeated questioning usually involves changes in multiple brain systems, but let's go over a few. The hippocampus, which helps store new information into memory, the anterior cingulate cortex, which helps us shift attention and move on from a thought, and the amygdala, which activates when the brain feels anxious, uncertain, or unsafe in some way. When the hippocampus can't store the answer, the brain treats each moment like it's the first time. And when the anterior cingulate cortex struggles to disengage from a concern, the thought loops. Add anxiety to the mix, which triggers the amygdala even more, and the question becomes less about the answer and more about needing to be soothed. Think of the dementia brain like a dry erase board that won't hold the ink. You write the answer clearly, you explain it patiently, you repeat it kindly, but seconds later it's wiped clean. To you, it's the 30th time, but to them, it's brand new. And once you understand that, the question becomes, how do I respond in a way that actually reduces the repetition instead of accidentally increasing it? Because many of the common responses that care partners use, which is completely understandable, actually makes the cycle worse. So let's walk through what's really happening and what works better. It's not about memory alone. Care partners often think repeated questions are solely just memory problems, but it's more layered than that. Yes, the memory centers may be compromised and not reliably store new information as we've discussed, but the brain system that helps us shift attention, as we've also discussed, may weaken. That means once a concern appears, it sticks. And if there's even mild anxiety or confusion attached to the idea, the amygdala amplifies these emotions. And increased emotions lead to increased repetition. Sometimes a visual aid can be helpful, so take a look at the cycle on screen. The repetition cycle often starts with them being anxious about a topic, perhaps a doctor's appointment coming up or misplacing the house keys. They come to you not only looking for the facts, the time of the appointment or where the keys could be, but also looking to be soothed. Caregivers often respond instead with, "I just told you," or they give a long explanation, thinking that if they give more information, sometimes it will help to stick better. However, snapping at them, "I just told you," or that lengthy explanation, that only leads to more overwhelm, shame, and more anxiety. They just told me? Why don't I remember? So that irritation from cures actually leads to increased emotions from their person with dementia, and that increased emotion leads to even more repetition. I'm giving you this education not to blame or shame you, but to set you free. When you understand what's happening, you can get ahead of it. So now let's discuss why your irritation makes sense. Repeated questions are cognitively exhausting for you as the care partner. Your brain does remember the last 29 times. So when it happens again, despite your best intentions, your nervous system reacts. That spike of irritation, that's your amygdala saying, "This again?" You're not trying to be cruel. You're human and you're overloaded. And if we don't protect your nervous system and help you to have other strategies, resentment will build. Quick pause here. If repeated questions are something you're dealing with in your home and you feel comfortable, you can share in the comments what question your person with dementia often repeats. And feel free to share anything that's helped you manage it. This can be a community where you all support each other. And as always, please be kind in the comments. Caregiving is hard enough and everyone is doing the best that they can. This is a judgment-free space. Now let's talk about what not to do with repeat questions. What not to do and why it backfires. As I mentioned in the diagram, the instinct is often to say, "I just told you. Why do you keep asking?" or launching into a long explanation. But when language processing systems in the temporal lobe are compromised, which they often are, long explanations only overwhelm your person even more. And when shame enters the equation, anxiety rises, and anxiety increases repetition. So unintentionally, your irritation can amplify the cycle. Here's what tends to work much better. What to do instead. First, short, calm answers. Same tone every time. No irritation, no extra explanation, just the answer. For example, we're leaving at 3. That's it. Long explanations often overwhelm the brain when language processing is already compromised, so simpler responses are easier for the brain to process. Second, use visual anchors whenever possible, as much as possible. Write the answer down, use a whiteboard or post-it note to do so, or point to a clock. Sometimes visual pathways hold on to information longer than verbal ones, depending on the type of dementia. So if your loved one asks, when are we leaving? You might say, we're leaving at 3, and simply point to a note that says 3 p.m. appointment. Now the brain has both the verbal answer and a visual cue. If the repetition continues, you may need this additional step. Third, address the emotion underneath the question. Because many repeated questions are not solely about the information, they're about the anxiety or uncertainty. If the question keeps coming up, try responding to the feeling behind it. You might say something like, I can see you're worried about the timing. I'm watching the clock. When it's time to leave, we'll go. You could even hand them something tangible like a small kitchen timer and say, when this rings, it's time for us to go. Often, what the brain is actually seeking is reassurance, not just the answer. And when that reassurance is provided, the repetition sometimes softens. Notice I said sometimes softens, because this is neurological care partners. You can't always stop every single repetition. Protecting your own regulation. If you feel irritation rising, step away briefly if it's safe. Take one slow breath, lower your voice instead of raising it. Change your posture. Repeated questions are draining. Your nervous system deserves protection too, and giving yourself space, a bit of movement, can help reduce some of that frustration. Caregiving works best when both nervous systems are regulated, not just one. I do want to close with just saying repeated questions certainly feel like a test of your patience. They're also a reflection of neurological damage. Their brains are struggling to hold on to the information. They're not meaning to drive you up the wall. When you can offer a bit of reassurance and not solely the information, things may soften a bit for you both. I hope today's video was helpful. And if you want to better understand why behaviors like repetition, anxiety, and looping thoughts happen neurologically, I've gone ahead and created the free Dementia Care Starter Kit for you below. Go ahead and grab that. And for those of you who want to remove the guesswork from caregiving and learn how to work with me, then go ahead and schedule a call below. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.